tonight I'm in the Empire in Belfast, and I have the absolute pleasure of talking to Miss Sever from Sumo Cyco. Welcome
Pleasure to
Belfast.
meet you.
How are
Thank you for having us. Oh my gosh, I walked into this venue and it's so gorgeous.
You like it here?
It's stunning. It's stunning. It's like I've gone back in time. It looks so cool.
Yeah, it's an old music hall.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it, and I hear it's sold out tonight, so it's gonna be
Yay!
a party. I'm so excited.
So you're actually no stranger to the UK, are you? It's like what, your fifth time to come to the UK?
Fifth time. So we love it here, and I love touring here because there's so much to see. Every place we go is gorgeous, it's beautiful, there's so much history, there's always something to do, and the crowds are great too. They know how to rock over
You know
here.
how to rock. I was just going to say, what's the attraction, or is it just a case of opportunity knocks, so you take it, or do you actually really like coming here?
But a bit of both. I mean, opportunity has been knocking over here, so we're definitely loving it and we're taking it. So it's perfect for us.
So how did you actually get onto this tour? What was it? How do you do that? Do you say, I want to go to Belfast again? Or did they say, hey, you'd be perfect for our tour, you're coming with us, girl?
Yeah, it's kind of that way. So we have an agent that kind of figures out what bands we would pair well with, and then figures out the routing, so where we're gonna head to. And sometimes we have to scratch our head when we end up at one side of the, one side of the country, and then go all the way to the opposite, and then to the middle, rather than doing things in sequence.
Yeah.
So that we just decided that we would the agents just kind of decide this place is open this night and it would be great on a Friday, so we don't care if you have to drive really, really far in order to get to the other side.
Mix it up a little.
Yeah.
You like to keep it fresh. And
exactly.
Lovely. You're a very, very confident woman. I've been watching all your videos.
Oh, thank you.
So what I want to know is, how in hell's name did you go from little pop queen idol sensation to on a stage jumping about like a screaming banshee? How did you go from that to over to the dark side?
Well, let me say, first of all, I love your description.
Oh, you're welcome.
And second of all, well, it started really naturally, actually. When I was young, I just loved to perform, and pop music just seemed to be the natural fit when you're young.
Yes.
And I hadn't really done all my music discovery yet. So as I grew up and grew older and started discovering other music, and I met Thor and MD, who are in my band.
Yes.
And they started introducing me to their favorite bands. We're like, okay, I need to do something different here. And so when my pop career was kind of winding down, I started working with some cool rock people, like for instance Tim Armstrong from Rancid. I worked with Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. I got to work with Matt Wilder, who did Tragic Kingdom, one of my favorite records by no doubt.
Yeah.
So I worked with all these really cool people that had done rock and gone to rock shows and just enjoyed it so much that I was like, I want to do this now. So I took kind of the reins of things and kind of switched things around and went from doing pop on a major label to now being completely independent in a rock band. And and I've been loving it. I mean, the rock crowd is so much different than the pop crowd in the respect that, you go to a show and everybody isn't, into their phone and just want to tweet their friends that they're there. It's like they all are in the moment. They'll catch you if you fall. They'll pick you up if you fall. I like to get in the crowd and mosh a lot of the time, so I like to get right in there with the crowd and face to face with everybody. And rock crowds are just like so much fun.
I always find the rock crowds, but I mean, I can go to a gig on my own, and everybody's like one big family.
Totally.
You totally feed each other. We feed you, you feed us, and it just goes on. Isn't it? Yeah. So, but how did your parents take this whole transformation? That's what I want to know. I mean, their little girl was this lovely, precocious little thing singing, and now she's a wee mad thing. How did your parents take this?
Well, they've been supportive my entire life of what I do. And I mean, they were taken aback for sure when I started playing them the new music. But I'm proud to say now that they're fans, and they are going to be coming to our show in London when we play this tour.
Wow, they're flying over to see it. Fantastic. I'm like, that's absolutely brilliant. Right, I read somewhere that you do take a lot of pride in you market your own stuff.
Yeah.
And you do put your stuff out there, and you release a lot of singles digitally as well. What I want to know is, how important do you think it is to actually do this online and keep in touch? Do you like being earthy with your fans?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole reason I think why we are here in the first place, is because we were able to grow that fan base online, so that by the time we get over here, there's actually people that know who we are. Yeah. Whereas before that era, we would come over here and there'd be absolutely no chance anyone would be able to hear about us. So I love what technology has done in that respect, that I can talk to people all around the world, message them, they can message me, send pictures back and forth, send stories back and forth. And I grew up in the digital age, so I totally understand the immediacy of needing content all the time and wanting to feel very connected to those people that you admire.
That's what I was going to say. You like drip feed your fans. You're constantly bring out a single, because a lot of bands take years sometimes to produce an album.
It's true.
And you think they go out of the radar, but you're constantly feeding your fans.
Yeah, I think that's very important. And one of the things we started off doing was just releasing singles and music videos. And we didn't really want to do an album because we thought, how cool is it that every couple months our fans get something new instead of having to wait, like you said, 2.5 years until new music comes out. So we really liked that way of releasing things. So we might try to do some more stuff similar to that, just to make sure we always have new things coming out, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So it wasn't just a smart business move. You just want to be in touch with your fans.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. So tell me, now you're a female, obviously, in front of a band, and it's very, very hard business. I know. I mean, I've been talking to Girls School, and they did it many, many years ago, and they said they had help. Did you have any Kickstarter? Was it just all coming from you to get to where you are now? Do you have any major influences that helped you get to where you are now, to become the artist that you are?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's definitely artists that have inspired me as far as like kind of people I've looked up to, but also people in my life I've been have kind of surrounded myself with very cool people that like support me and lift me up. I mean, I had an amazing music teacher when I was young who was the one who told me, like, you have to do this for your career. You cannot just sing for fun. Like, you have to go for this, girl. And I was like, thank you. Like, okay, I will. And I mean, MD from my band, when I first approached him with this crazy idea to go from pop to like this rock chick, I was like, do you think I could do it? Yeah, to the dark side. I said, do you think people will take me seriously with all this history, you know, being on a Disney Channel and singing for the voice of Barbie when I was like 16 years old? And he's like, if you believe that you can do it and you stand up there with confidence, people will respect you for that. And I mean, ever since then, I've been just like, every time I hit the stage, and I just go out there as if I own it, and I don't need to apologize for anything in my past.
Confidence instilled.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm proud of everything that I did when I was young, and everyone, if they went back to what they were doing when they're, you know, in their teenage years, they probably have some embarrassing things in everybody's history. So, yeah.
When you were young, though, just going on to that wee bit, did you ever imagine that you would be where you are now?
I don't think so. I mean, I pictured myself being on stage, but I didn't know in what capacity. I thought maybe I'd do musical theater, maybe I'd be an actress, maybe this, maybe that, but I'm just happy that I get to do what I love.
You actually evolved through your own career. You've actually evolved yourself through your own career.
For sure, yeah.
What are you listening to right now? I mean, what do you actually listen to? You're writing and stuff, where do you get your influences from?
Yeah, well, one of my favorite bands from Wales, Skindred.
Yes.
Benji Webb.
Yes.
He actually is on one of our new songs for
our
new record, so I'm really stoked about that. I listened to Refused. We were just like listening to some hip hop. I was listening to like Big Boy and Outkast on the way here, and I mean, I'm such a fan of so much music in general, and I think that's why our sound kind of takes bits of like metal, and then punk, and then dancehall, and then pop. And then we'll have like a salsa beat in there somewhere, or like some rap, like hip hop influence. So I don't really close myself off to any genres. I just like what's good.
Do you think that diversity helps to widen your audience?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, today everything's so accessible that I think that music fans aren't just like one-dimensional. A lot of them are open to trying new things, and if you're just good and they like your energy, then sometimes they'll get into a band that they never even thought, like, oh, I never even thought I liked dancehall music, but I like this band. So I think that's really cool.
That's wonderful. I was going to ask you about where your image came from. Is this all you?
Yes.
I mean, you're screaming and I've watched your videos. You're hanging upside down and all sorts of things. I mean, seriously. Are you a gymnast?
Oh, I try to be. I pretend I am. But we always joke all of our music videos I end up getting injured somehow because I'm always doing something crazy. But my outfits, I got inspired by Mike Patton from Faith No More. He wore like a police outfit. I remember seeing, and like the kind of idea of taking like uniforms and then like flipping it around. So I get a lot of my outfits from like, I can't afford like, you know, a custom costume, so I just go to like a Halloween costume store after Halloween when they're all in the bargain bin and just like revamp all of them. And I love it because a lot of them like are really just like easy to pack. They don't wrinkle. They're just like cheap. So if you get them all dirty and sweaty while you're on stage, just throw them out and get another one.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I mean, and summers.
Whoa, nice.
You can find clothes from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like directing, you seem to like directing as well. You're a multi-talented young lady, aren't you?
Thank you.
Have you ever thought of taking this any bigger? I mean, I've seen your videos. I know what you've been like, wow, how did you come up with that? Have you ever thought maybe in the future of taking it any bigger, movie style?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I have.
Tell
you
me
know
more.
what? Yes. No, I really kind of learned how to do this, direct and make videos just for the necessity of promoting my band. And then it became to something that I actually really loved, and I've started directing for other bands when I'm home, and I'll do other projects for, you know, companies or artists, and I'm kind of into that the medium of just film. So I talk about it all the time about how it would be so cool to do an entire movie, whether it's Sumo Cyco themed or something completely different.
Spinal Tap themed.
Yeah,
maybe?
could be.
Only Sumo Cyco.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really thinking that maybe when I get in my later years, when I don't have enough energy to jump up and down on the stage,
never
maybe I can take on a movie and direct something kind of epic, and it'll probably be creepy and
class, brilliant. So tell me, who's the real psycho in this band besides you?
Well, we all have our own psycho tendencies.
Yeah.
But
I know where you got it from as well. Speaking of tendencies.
Yeah. You got it.
I got it.
Suicidal tendencies.
Yes, I got it.
Yes, we got the spelling of psycho from them. So, but no, we like all of our band members. They were really all just like got our own kind of quirks and our psycho ideas, but it really when it gets to being on stage, that's when it's really like you put out your full freak flag and you just let it fly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you don't beat them all up or anything. I say.
There might be a little bit of that control freak in there somewhere.
Can we watch? So tell me, Psycho City. Your last album, what you brought out, was a phenomenal hit. What's happening right now? What is it that you're doing right now?
So we're still touring with Lost in Psycho City, and we're doing most of the songs that we'll be performing tonight will be off that record. But we also have 2 new songs that we're going to be performing, and that's for our new record.
Yes.
So we're working hard on that. We've been doing a crowdfunding campaign on Pledge Music, and I'm proud to say we are over 200% past our goal.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So thanks
Congratulations.
thanks to all of our amazing fans, and so we have got the pressure now is on with all these people waiting for it to be released. We have got to deliver. So when we get home after this tour, we're going to take off a few months to just finish her up, get her ready for the new year, so that hopefully next spring we'll be back here rocking with the new record.
With the new album.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting stuff. Is there anything I need to know, like any new collaborations or?
Yeah, well, we've got Benji Webb from Skin Dread, which I'm super stoked about. That song is called Move Mountains.
Right.
And then we're working with a producer actually based in UK, out of London.
Yeah.
He's actually done the last couple Skin Dread albums.
Right.
And it's our first time working with an outside producer for our record. So it's been an interesting experience, especially since we're sending most of our material through the internet for him to work on, and then he sends us
You're
the
not
ideas
even
back.
in the same room?
No, we're not in the same
Wow.
room. So it's very, future, like, coming realization how easy it is these days to collaborate just
So
over
digital.
Skype, and it's so digital.
So do you do most of the writing for the album, or is it like a band effort, or?
Yeah, so we have a home studio. The band, at my place, we have this kind of old church that is our studio slash movie studio slash everything.
Yeah.
We've converted it into kind of like a living space and a studio and everything, and so we have a studio there, and MD, our guitarist, he is like a master on the digital Pro Tools, and so he'll program in this entire beat and rhythms and guitar, and he does this whole thing, and then he brings it to me, and then he goes, okay, what do you think of this? And I tell him, that's not good, that's good, keep that, turn that around, do that backwards, and then we come to agreement on, after I bring my lyrics and melodies, and he does the same to me, that sucks, do that again, that's not good enough, until we get to a good place where we have a skeleton of a song, and then we bring it to the other guys, and then we kind of jam it out, and then we'll...
It's a yay or a nay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Has anything ridiculous ever been brought to you and you thought, no way, that's not happening?
There is a couple things.
I got outvoted on it.
Yeah, well, you know what, I came around, because at first Matt was trying some like digital, more like dubstep kind of ideas to influence there, which was, to me, it's hard to replicate that kind of stuff live, because you don't have a DJ and like a keyboard and like a million different sounds to do. So I kind of shied away from that at the beginning, but he kind of won me over as we started going, and we've been able to figure out how to make it kind of emulated enough on the live stage. But
so we're getting away with it.
Yeah, we're getting away with it. But I mean, I think that it's so important, like when you're on stage, to bring that show. So it's not just like 4 people just like playing perfectly their instruments and that's it. You gotta bring the show. So for us, having intros and outros and hearing word sound effects while we're changing guitars or changing strings, you know, tuning our strings, like, you know, that's the type of thing that keeps things rolling and interesting, rather than just like this dead silence and then you're like,
walk on playing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of playing, do you play anything?
I play a little. I wouldn't say I am a guitarist or a pianist, but I have played both, and I have learned those instruments in order to write songs. So I don't play so much anymore, which I wish I had more time to. But I use it basically just as a writing aid to like write songs, and I miss it. I actually miss playing piano a lot.
Oh, you play piano?
Yeah.
Oh, not pop stuff though. You're not allowed anymore. Can I ask one final question then? I mean, your voice, goodness me, you changed from singing to screaming to doing all sorts of things. How on earth do you prepare for that? And I know you're sitting here talking to me now, and I'm conscious of the fact that you probably should be wrestling. How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, well, the best thing I can possibly do is have a good night's sleep. Right. And if I'm well rested, I can guarantee a great show the next day.
Yay.
But
Did
it's
you sleep
also
well last night?
I did.
Perfect. That's all I need.
There are some definite like vocal warm-ups that I should be doing every single day. Sometimes I get away with not doing it as much. But I think the main thing is I found over the years, when I started screaming especially, is so hard on the vocal cords, and I would lose my voice after a few nights of performing. And then you start realizing what your voice can handle, what registers, where to place things. It's kind of hard to actually describe in words, but after I've practiced it for the past few years, now screaming sometimes becomes so much more easier than doing some of the crazier high singing stuff. So it's quite interesting how it works.
I'm trying to imagine you as this little child in your bedroom screaming, your mother going, what's going on up there? You practicing? Okay, one final question. You're a female in a front band and you're doing your thing. Have you got any advice for any young girls who want to follow in your footsteps?
Oh, of course I do. I would tell any young girl out there to just follow your heart, follow your dreams, do what you do, don't compromise, and don't say, I have to even stop myself from saying I'm sorry to people for apologizing about anything. You don't need to apologize. You are you are powerful and strong, and I just want to let all those girls out there know that, you know, you can do it. If I can do it, you guys can do it.
You are amazing. Thank you so much. This is the wonderful Sever from Sumo Cyco. Have a good show tonight, my darling. And
thank you so much.
Thank you so
Pleasure.
much.